All right, welcome to our 2024 tax bracket tool. So, this was a lot of work, actually. It was a surprising amount of work. And basically, what happened was the other day, the IRS announced Revenue Procedure 2023 34, which was basically all the adjusted items. They calculate their impact of inflation and then they adjust the tax brackets, they adjust the standard deduction, yada, yada, yada. So they compile that into a report. That is this report right here. So if you really want to, if you have trouble sleeping, go ahead and load this up. It's, like I said, it's Revenue Procedure 2023-24. You can get it on the IRS website. And yeah, so what I wanted to do here was I created this tool that compares your 2023 situation to your 24 situation. Now, as I'm recording this, we're at the end of 2023. It's November 11th. And we don't know exact numbers for, how 2023 is going to shape up because the year's not over. So, you think you're going to make 60,000, maybe you make 60,576. Who knows? Right. But, this tool will get you pretty close. So what it does is you put in your family situation and you put in your income for 2023, and it's going to calculate your tax based on that. Now, this is a simplified calculation. It's assuming standard deduction. It's assuming there's no qualified business income. It's assuming there's no special rates for like capital gains or qualified interest or any of that stuff. It's assuming there's no penalties from IRA withdrawals and all that kind of stuff. It's just income, standard deduction, what's your tax? And even that, I managed to break a couple web tools that couldn't handle the conditionality structure. I was trying to do something in Zapier where it ended up with 55 steps and the site just crashed. But I got a version working. So that's the important part. But it just so you know, it took me a long time. It was a lot of work. So the quiz is very simple. Like I said, it's family situation, income, and then it's going to spit out the report. So let's just run through it real quick. The first question is, how many dependents birth to 16 do you claim? Because birth to 16 is one category, 17 and over is a different category. So I'm going to say 2. I've got 2 kids. 17 plus do you claim? 0, at least for me. And I am married filing joint. And just for giggles, what is your 2023 gross income? I'm going to be optimistic. I'm going to say 256,394. Now that is not a real number, but it'd be nice. So enter a whole number here. So that is the 4 questions. And then you put in your name, your email, and it's going to go to work on the back end. And then it's going to email it to you. You can't do this instantly because it actually does take some time to process, but I'm going to pause it here and I'll come back when the report is done. It's going to take about 5 to 10 minutes. All right, so I put in my name and email. I put in my personal info. That's why I wasn't going to share it. You can email me at work if you want. It's neil@taxsherpa.com. All my admin goes through all my email. So you enter that and you land on this page, and it's going to tell you, hey, if your report is working, it's basically repeating what I'm saying here. And if you want to continue and have a discussion with us, you can click the green button. It'll take you to our calendar, and you can talk with one of our experts, figure out your situation, and how we can, whatever your tax number is, how we can lower that significantly. So we're just going to pause here for just a second again, and I'll come back when the report is in. And we're back. So that took about 10 minutes. And, the computers, they work hard. We should give them a raise when they take over. But, you get an email and you have this report inside. So let me just walk you through the report, how it works. You have your 2023 projections, filing status, gross income, which is the number that I just put in, and before dependent credits, so meaning credits for the dependents I claim on my tax return. My tax based on that income is $41,687. I got 2 kids. Each one of them is $2,000. And again, this is simplified. We're not doing phase outs and all that kind of stuff. That puts the 2023 tax after dependent credits at $37,687. So then we look at the 2024 projections, and filing status is the same. The 2024 tax based on that same income of $256,394 is $40,611. So it went from $41,687 to $40,611. So that is a savings of, let's see, $41,687 minus $40,611. That's $1,076 less. So and then after the credits, again, 4,000. That part's the same. So that's 36,611. So then this. So there's two ways to look at it, right? So way number one to look at it is like, okay, if I make the same income in 24 as I did in 23, then what's my tax bill? And that's what that part answers right there. The other way to look at it is saying, well, the IRS is saying that there was inflation. And how do we account for this inflation? Well, incomes have to rise in order to stay even on a purchasing power level, or purchasing power parity, is how it's described in economics terms. So, in order to pay 37,687 here in tax in 2024, then the income would actually need to rise from 256,394 up to 260,875, and that's that last number. So if you are, if you're an employee, you could make a really good case to your employer, and you say, well, the IRS, adjustments show that, if I made this last year, then I should make this, this change upcoming 260,875 for 2024 in order just to break even. That's not even like performance bonus. That's just staying even with the cost of living according to the IRS. And so yeah, I think that's a pretty strong case you can make. Now the other thing is that the 260,875 is not 5.5% more than 256,394. And I had never really looked into this, to be honest. So 260,875 divided by 256,394, that's 1.7% higher. That's not 5.5% higher. And as I was going through the math of all these things and building these functions, I realized that the reason is because a couple of things happen. So one, the standard deduction increases, and that's going to decrease the difference between the two because the standard deduction is a deduction. It subtracts, right? So it's a nonlinear subtraction compared to your income. And then as the brackets go up, as far as their cutoffs from one bracket to the other, then that does lower the overall tax. But again, it's nonlinear, and it the total balance is stepwise, because that's how the brackets work. It's 10%, then 12%, then 22%, then 24%, then 32%, then 35%, then 37%. That's a lot. It's a lot of brackets. We're in historical terms, we're actually fairly middle in terms of number of brackets that we have. There have been more, there have been less, but we're kind of middle of the pack right now. So the because of that nonlinearity on both the subtraction side from the standard deduction and on the assessment side, you end up not getting a clean 5.5% decrease in tax for a given amount of income. It ends up being, depending on the numbers, it ends up being like 1.4 to 1.8 kind of percentages. And again, that's before calculating special assessments, special rates, and all that kind of stuff. So again, simplified calculation, but it will give you guidance, I think, on how 2024 is shaping up versus 2023. So I hope you guys use the tool, put a lot of work into it. So I hope people use it. And yeah, let me know what you think. Talk to you soon.